Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, should a wise man utter vain knowledge and fill his belly with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk or with speeches wherewith he can do no good? Yea, that thou castest off fear and restrain the prayer before God. For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thine own lips testify against thee. Wow. Art thou the first man that was born, or wast thou made before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret of God, and dost thou restrain wisdom to thyself? What knowest thou that we know not? What understandest thou which is not in us? With us both the gray-headed and the very aged men, much elder than thy father. Are the consolations of God small with thee? Is there any secret thing with thee? Verse 12, why does thine heart carry thee away? And what do thine eyes wink at? That thou turnest thy spirit against God, and lettest such words go out of thy mouth. What is man that he should be clean, and he which is born of a woman that he should be righteous? Behold, he putteth no trust in his saints. Yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more abominable and filthy is man, which drinketh iniquity like water? I will show thee, hear me, and that which I have seen I will declare. Which wise men have told from their fathers, have not hid it, unto whom alone the earth was given, and no stranger pass among them. The wicked man travaileth with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden to the oppressor. A dreadful sound is in his ears, and in prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not that he shall return out of darkness, or that he is waited for the sword. He wandereth abroad for bread, saying, where is it? He knoweth that the day of the darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready for battle. For he stretcheth out his hand against God, and strengtheneth himself against the Almighty. He runneth upon him, even on his neck, upon the thick bosses of his bucklers, because he covereth his face with fatness, and maketh collops of fat on his flanks. And he dwelleth in desolate cities and houses which no man inhabiteth, which are ready to become heaps. He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong perfection upon the earth. He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth he shall go away. Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense. It shall be accomplished before his time, and his branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and the fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. Job chapter 16, verse 1, my Lord. Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are ye all. Shall vain words have an end, or what emboldened thee that thou answer? I also could speak as ye do, if your soul were in my soul's stead. I could heap up words against you and shake mine head at you, but I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the movement of my lips should assuage your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged, and though I forbear, what am I ease? But now he hath made me weary, and thou hast made desolate all my company. Thou hast filled me with wrinkles, which is witness against me, and my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. He teareth me in his wrath. He hateth me, and he gnashes upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eyes upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. God hath delivered me to the ungodly, and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath taken me by the neck, and has shaken me to pieces, and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. He cleaveth my reins asunder, and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. He breaketh me with breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin, and defiled my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and my eyelids in the shadow of death. Not for any injustice in mine hand, and also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no place. Also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, but my eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go away, whence I shall not return. The book of Job, chapter 17, verse 1. My breath is corrupt, and my days are extinct. The graves are ready for me, and are there mockers with me? And doth not mine eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding. Therefore shalt thou not exalt them. He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even to eyes of his children, shall fail. He that made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was a tabret. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also lay hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all, do ye return and come now? For I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, and my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into day. The light is short because of the darkness. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, and to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. And where now is my hope? For as my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit when I rest together in the dust. The book of Job, chapter 18, verse 1. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, how long will it be ere ye make an end of words? Mark, and afterwards will we speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight? He teareth himself in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken of thee? And shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of the fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The gin shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and the destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His root shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness, and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, and they that went before him were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. The book of Job, chapter 19, verse 1. Then Job answered and said, how long will ye vex my soul and break me in pieces with words? These 10 times have ye reproached me. Ye are not ashamed that ye make yourselves strange to me. And be it indeed that I have erred, mine error remaineth with myself. If indeed you will magnify yourselves against me and plead against me my reproach, know now that God hath overthrown me and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. He has fenced up my way that I cannot pass. He has set darkness in my path. He has stripped me of my glory and taken the crown from my head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone, and my hope hath he removed like a tree. He has also kindled his wrath against me, and he counted me unto him as one of his enemies. His troops come together and raise up their way against me, and camp round about my tabernacle. He hath put my brethren far from me, and my acquaintance are verily estranged from me. My kinsfolks have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. They that dwell in my house and my maids come not for a stranger. I'm an alien in their sight. I called for my servant, and he gave me no answer. I entreated him with my mouth. My breath is strange to my wife. And though I entreated for the children's sake of mine own body, yea, young children despised me, and I rose, and they spake against me. All my inward friends abhorred me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me. Have pity upon me, O ye my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me. Why do ye persecute me as God, and not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written, and oh, that they were printed in a book, and that they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold and not another. Though my reins be consumed within me, but ye should say, why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know that there is a judgment. Job chapter 20, verse 1. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite and said, therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, for this I make haste. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causes me to answer. Knowest thou this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellently mount up to the heavens, his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. He shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye which see him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hand shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of asps with him. He has swallowed down riches. He shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers of floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to the substance shall be the restitution, and he shall not rejoice therein, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away the house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency shall he be in the straits. Every one of his hands wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity. The earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his good shall be flown away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of the wicked man from God, and the heritage appointed unto him by God. Job chapter 21, verse 1. But Job answered and said, hear diligently my speech, and let this be your consolation. Suffer me that I may speak, and after that I have spoken, mock on. As for me, my complaint is to man. If it were so, why should not my spirit be troubled? Mark me and be astonished, and lay your hand upon your mouth. Even when I remember, I am afraid, and trembling taketh hold on my flesh. Wherefore do the wicked live, and become old, yea, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear. Neither is the rod of God upon them. Their bull genereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth their little ones out like a flock, and the children dance. They take the timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth, and in a moment go down to the grave. Therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? What profit should we have if we pray unto him? Lo, their good is not in their hand. The counsel of the wicked is far from me. How oft is the counsel of the wicked put out, and how oft cometh their destruction upon them? God distributeth his sorrows in his anger. They are of stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth them, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure hath he in the house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? Shall any teach God's knowledge, seeing he judgeth those that are high? One dieth in his full strength, being wholly at ease and quiet. His breasts are full of milk, and his bones are moistened with marrow. And another dieth in the bitterness of his soul, and never eateth with pleasure. They shall lay down alike like in the dust, and the worm shall cover them. Behold, I know your thoughts, and the devices which ye wrongfully imagine against me. For ye say, where is the house of the prince, and where are the dwelling places of the wicked? Have ye not asked them that go by that way? And do ye know not their tokens, that the wicked is reserved for the day of destruction, and they shall be brought forth to the day of wrath? Who shall declare his way to his face? And who shall repay him what he hath done? Yet shall he be brought down to the grave, and shall remain in the tomb. The clods of the valley shall be sweet unto him, and every man shall draw after him, as there are innumerable before him. How then comfort ye me in vain, seeing in your answers there remaineth falsehood?